Unit 7 is a quantum chemical model of the atom. It's a pretty short unit, and it continues from what we learned about the atom before. If you recall, we started talking about the atom about Dalton. Dalton had 4 tenets that were true, he said, about atoms, and they're sort of still true, although now we know more details. That was in the early 1800s. In about the 1870s, 80s, later on, J.J. Thomson came along, and using a cathode ray experiment, or the cathode ray tube, he discovered that there were electrons, or smaller subatomic particles, we call them. Electrons, and he hypothesized in his chocolate chip cookie model, or as he called it, the plum pudding model, that the entire atom must have been positively charged to balance out the negative charges of these electrons that he had found. In the early 1900s, Ernest Rutherford came along and did the gold foil experiment. He shot alpha particles, which were very heavy, positively charged particles, actually helium nuclei, through this thin sheet of gold foil. He expected them all go through because he thought they'd be so much more massive than this atom thing, than any of this positive spread out charge. They'd go straight through. But he was shocked when some of them bounced back at him. He had found that all the positive charge of the atom, instead of being spread out in the entire atom, was in the nucleus of the atom. And when the alpha particles hit that nucleus, they bounced back. When they missed the nucleus, they would go straight through, as he expected. Him and James Chadwick then said the mass was not enough, so they discovered these neutrons, or hypothesized, or called these things neutrons, which have no charge, but have a mass about equal to a proton, and said those are also in the nucleus. That's where we left this story. In this unit, you're going to learn about Bohr and Bohr's model, or what we call the solar system model, the one that you probably learned very early in your schooling. And then came along the quantum chemistry model of the atom by Erwin Schrödinger. One of my dogs is named after Erwin Schrödinger, Dinger. And Werner Heisenberg, along with some other people, came up with new models of the atom. And that's kind of where we leave it at today. So Unit 7 is a more updated model of the atom. Again, you need to be able to connect Dalton to Thomson to Rutherford and then to Schrödinger to get a full understanding of kind of where we are right now. In this unit, there's another, we're not going to learn about it here, extension to this quantum mechanical model called string theory, a very interesting video by physicist Brian Greene, if you get a chance to watch it.